I now call this meeting to order. It is 6:04 p.m. and welcome to the Ravenswood City School District Board meeting. Today's date is February 26, 2026. Ooh, 26. I like that. And thank you all for being here. We are your lovely board. So please feel free to be in dialogue with us. If you'd like to speak this evening, we have these lovely yellow sheets of paper we call speaker cards for some reason. Miss Maria there has them. So if you'd like to talk about anything that is on the agenda, you fill out one of those, give it to her, she'll give it to us. If you'd like to talk about something that is not on the agenda, there is one particular place that we talk about those things, and that is item number 2, public comment from the floor. So please keep that in mind. All right, all good? Thank you so much. We'll get going. So we are on item 1B, the roll call. So Trustee Tavera is absent. Trustee Nunez is absent. Trustee Varghese Bloom. Thank you. Trustee Latu. Present. And I myself, Trustee Shubham, am present. Okay, so we're moving on to item 1C, approval of the agenda. Is there anything that we need to discuss in terms of its organization or pulling anything? If not, I will take a motion to approve the agenda.
Through the chair, I move to approve the agenda.
Thank you. All those in favor of approving item 1C, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Feeling good? We'll now move on to item 2A, public comments from the floor. So Trustee Varghese Bloom, do you have any speaker cards for this particular item, which is discussing items that are not on the remaining pieces of the agenda? Thank you so much. We'll move on to item 3, special recognition, and we are on 3A, CCRMS Black Student Union Club.
Here we go. Thank you. Good evening, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Gina Sidoria, also members of the cabinet, families from CCRMS, students. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Today, we want to acknowledge the student spotlight. And I don't think, and let me go ahead and introduce myself, Gabriel Anguiano Jr. I'm the coordinator of family and community engagement for Ravenswood City School District. I'm really excited to be here for the reasons that when we do a student spotlight, it's not only the student, but it's a resemblance of the schools and the community that we represent. Today, we have 2 different groups. Today, we have the CCRMS girls basketball team that made it to the finals with a record of 9-1, if I'm not mistaken. And if I am, please correct me. And at the championship game, they took the championship. Really, these young individuals have been practicing blood and sweat. They've been out there, but they're student athletes. And we want to recognize them for their efforts and also for their participation in being good role models, good leaders in the community, but overall, just really for their peers, having that particular amazing presence as them being there, it means a lot. So for me and for the rest of our staff, we want to go ahead and congratulate the individuals that have been behind, pushing them, the teachers, the staff that have supported them throughout their journey in basketball season, but most of all, carrying their grades to meet the requirements through A through G, and just having them be present for everyone. Special thanks, he couldn't be here, Coach Bruce Savusa, for really being behind the scenes, helping, supporting, and also Coach Mario Mendoza, which is our athletic director from CCRMS. So thank you. before you leave, I would like to acknowledge, I have not done yet. Another spotlight that we have is also our Black Student Union Club. This particular club has been at CSCRMS for about a bit over 3 years. And I'm going to go ahead and just read something because it's really important that we disclose and that we share this information. In the month of February, we at Ravenswood proudly celebrate Black History Month, a time to honor and remember the countless contributions of African Americans throughout the nation's history and in today's world. It is time to raise and continue to raise our awareness about ongoing struggle for equality and civil rights, to celebrate culture, to educate our communities, and to help build tomorrow's role models and leaders. Today, in celebration of Black History Month, we recognize and uplift our outstanding young African American students, our men and our women, who are part of the Black Student Union Club at CCRMS. The BSU Club was formed about 3 years ago, like I mentioned, and every Wednesday they meet for about 45 minutes. What started as a small gathering with the help of Ms. Nicole Sullivan, Ms. Cheeto, Ms. Kim Cheeto, and Mr. Jordan, I apologize. Yes, Mr. Jordan Mitchell. What started as a small gathering has grown into a thriving community of over 25 students and growing. And these students who attend are actively participants. Our BSU members contribute in meaningful ways, sharing their culture, talents, and their skills while educating their peers, teachers, staff, and greater EPA and Belhaven community. Through their leadership, collaboration, and pride in their heritage, they continue to make a powerful impact on our school campuses. Today, we are proud to present our Ravenswood Student Spotlight for our girls CCRMS champions and also our Black Student Union Club from CCRMS. Today, we celebrate your dedication, your voice, and the positive change you inspire every day that you show up to school. Once again, thank you for your time. Special thanks to the following: Ms. Kim Cheeto, Mr. Jordan Mitchell, Ms. Nicole Sullivan, and Ms. Amelia Jack. Thank you for your time and have a great evening. A big round of applause to our families, please. So I'm going to ask of our student athletes if it's okay for us to take a quick picture with our Board of Trustees. But before we do that, questions? Yes, Madam.
Yes, I think comments more than questions.
Oh.
But thank you so much for that. And I just want to formally state that I believe you spoke for items 3A and 3B. So just posting that or saying that, calling that out. So thank you so much. And yeah, I'll open some comments from the board members, but first I want to say congratulations to everyone in this room. This is a win on and off the court is what I'm hearing tonight, both, for our basketball team as well as for our Black Student Union, who just facilitated a lovely Black History program the other night that we were able to attend. So congratulations to all of you. I have 4 children and all 4 of them were basketball players. I'm also married to a basketball player. His brothers are basketball players. So I appreciate the game of basketball is what I'm trying to say. I cannot escape it. I know what it means to go hard on D, to take care of the rock, to have a nice floater. And so I just want to say congratulations. Thanks for representing not only our girls, but all of us at Ravenswood as you took us home to the championship and made the win for us all. And the same again goes for our Black Student Union, who was just here also in our last meeting, reading a lovely proclamation, and in that proclamation celebrating Black History Month, but also continuing to make demands and say their expectations of us as a board, as family members, as community members. So thank you for everyone in attendance tonight. Go Ravenswood. Any board members want to say something?
Yes, it was.
I just I just want to say, like, the talent that you guys put up there, that's been cultivated not just by the teachers, but by your community, by our community, is just so important. And we saw that, and we got to be part of that. And I was just really excited and happy to be there. So thank you to Ms. Sullivan, Mr. Mitchell, Ms. Cheadle, Ms. Jack, for putting all of that together and helping our students shine. Just like Coach Mario and the other coach that I don't remember the name of do for our basketball girls. Thank you for the ways that you help our community and our students shine. It just makes me really happy and makes me really proud to be part of this community. So thank you.
Through the chair, I'll start with the BSU club. As you know, during the vital signs presentation, we saw that there was needs in the different communities that we have here at Ravenswood. So it makes me extremely proud to see how far BSU has come in the last 3 years, but there's always room for growth. And so I just want to commend them for bringing forth the proclamation last board meeting, where we discussed different areas that we still need to improve as a district. We heard it as board members, we voted on it, so that puts more power behind us to ensure that we are meeting the needs of our young people here at the district. So I commend the club. Congratulations on your recent event. I believe you guys are supposed to have a barbecue tomorrow? Am I mistaken? So that I was really excited to hear about that. But of course, you know, every year I believe that we should get better. And so this year I saw where we were, but next year I'll be expecting more. So I'm excited, and y'all know I don't forget anything, so I'll make sure to come by again next year. For our girls basketball team, congratulations. Do we have monies to make sure that y'all get some type of party or something, or did it already happen? Not.
Coach Mario, you're such a major figure. Do you mind coming to the podium?
Come on down. I mean, let's make it happen. It'll be on the minutes.
Well, Coach Mario literally just came from a basketball game from one of our other teams, or another team, yeah.
So yeah, so every year after all of our seasons, I do have a party for all of our athletes, and we usually host between 100 to 120 kids. And there I just give MVP awards and most improved player awards, and this year we are going to hang their beautiful banner on the top of the rafters of the gym, and just to show them how much I appreciate all of their hard work, and hopefully they continue to work hard in high school. And some of them are getting recruited by private schools, which is awesome. And one of our superstars got to go to the Super Bowl this year. But yes, we do show our appreciation by having a cookout at the end of the year.
Nice. I'll be looking forward to the photos. But congratulations again to the team. I want to make sure that we celebrate the excellence that happens within our district. Of course, when you guys win, it's a victory for you as an individual, but it also brings extreme pride for our district that we continue to foster great talent. As a high school and college basketball player, let me just whisper the second part. I totally understand the time commitment, especially on the families. So congratulations again. Let's talk about this end of the year party. Because if our young people want steak, let's try to figure out a way that we can make it happen. I think we can find some money somewhere to support and make this party a little bit bigger. Because we got some champs in the house. You know what I'm saying? But thank you again, and thank you for the update.
Yes, I just simply wanted to add, I know we have a student here who's representing for the BSU. One student was able to make it, and representation matters. And so I just want to appreciate the families for taking the time to bring their children and the students to make the time to come here and experience the fact that you are all being recognized for holding up the Ravenswood promise with how you present yourselves, how you uphold excellence through coming to practice every day, participating in clubs every day, and more importantly, raising your voice. There's a lot of communication that happens on the court. There's also ways that you can conduct yourself in response to other teams and how they conduct themselves. And so thank you for always representing Ravenswood in a positive light. And the adults who support our children, Nicole, Kim, Jordan, who's watching probably from YouTube, and Coach Mario, thank you so much for showing up for our kids, holding the bar high, because we know they can reach and succumb not, and showing up every day despite all the things also that you all take care of with your own babies at home and other responsibilities. But showing up for our students every single day is greatly appreciated. And it takes teamwork, literally. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Superintendent Tadara. Thank you for the kind words. I'm just going to mention a couple of students that are here with their families, just to acknowledge. With our BSU student, Kalia Hamilton, if you go ahead and just take the stage, just come up front. It's okay. Big round of applause.
Extra credit.
Thank you.
Extra credit.
Thank you. Just go ahead and come on the front. Also, Kulia Jones. Kulia, if you go ahead and take a stand, please. Avery Mataafa. Sela Pasaina. Olivia Sound. Siavalua Logo. And hopefully I did not forget no one. Yes? Sorry. What's her name? Emma? Eva Ledger? Sorry, I'm a victim of not being at the games so often, so I'm working on it, okay? So hold me accountable. Yes, madam. And who? Anything? I can do it. So, what's your name? And Anna Sengi, thank you.
I know.
So I apologize. I should have had Coach Martyr do that. But ladies, and also we would love to give a big round of applause to your families for being here and supporting you. Thank you much. And also Maata Lavekehaho. And ladies, we appreciate most of you guys. We know you had rugby practice and you guys are kind of skipping into it, but thank you for the time. And bless your heart. And student athletes and families, before we leave, we would love to acknowledge our students in room 102, is right down the hallway, for some small drinks and also some pizza and a token appreciation from Ravenswood City School District. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Okay, back to business. Extremely late. Just kidding. Okay.
All right. Okay, so we are still live, just informing everyone, and so we are going to continue down the agenda. Just really quickly want to say thank you for these lovely flowers. Whoever put these here, so beautiful. It was who? Rev? Thank you, Rev.
Rev.
So lovely.
I love
the
yellow.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It's like a little teacup. Can I take this home?
I believe so.
I want to take it home.
Yeah, they will. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, we are on item number 4, updates, and so we'll go with 4A, board member comments.
Through the chair. I attended 2 Black History Month events this week, one at CCRMS and then also one at Castaño yesterday. So Ravenswood has been doing such a great job. I really love seeing all the kids doing their thing, and just for art night that was hosted. And I will also just say the food was great both nights, so it was great to have dinner 2 nights in a row. So just thank you for the staff at both of the schools who hosted those celebrations. I know there were other celebrations at Bellhaven as well for the Lunar New Year, Chinese Lunar New Year. So thank you to our schools and our teachers and our staff who really celebrate all cultures and all peoples, and I really appreciate that, and I hope that we can keep that going. So excited to continue to attend and celebrate with you all.
Through the chair, I had the pleasure of doing a site visit at CCRMS this week. It was nice to be on the ground and talk with staff members, and I just totally blanked on what else I was going to say. Oh, yes. As you can see through the news, there's been some crime lately that's happened in East Palo Alto, but I want to ensure the public that the Ravenswood City School District takes the safety of our children very seriously. And yes, I just wanted to make that clear.
The trustees shared what I was going to share as well, is just my appreciation for the staff across the communities, not only our classroom teachers, our visual performing arts teachers, our educators, custodians, for creating a great environment and festive environment to celebrate the diverse cultures of our community, Black History Month, and then Lunar New Year. Also, our CME team has done an exceptional job also celebrating the Lunar New Year. And I did post recently a dichotomy between the work that our classroom teachers are doing and the work that, say, some of our classified staff do, and how so important both of their roles play, ensuring that we're able to move instruction along. And just greatly appreciate our classified staff, technology team, custodial team, paraeducators. Won't name them all right now, but they are able, their work allows us to be able to have instruction continue without skipping a beat, and truly grateful for their participation and their focus and work.
Should I start over? Good evening. I'm a little surprised I'm doing this. This is third time's the charm. I've been thinking a little bit about just what's happening within Ravenswood as we're gearing up for our budget season, and we're thinking about what's happening for next fiscal year. Obviously, we're not talking about that tonight. That's a conversation for next time. But I was thinking about just what's happening in school districts across the country. I'm in a lot of, as you might imagine, financial groups where we talk about school district financial health. And it's bleak right now. It is crisis time as a school system. Most school districts right now are talking about the size of cuts that they're making. They're bracing for layoffs. They're thinking about budget cuts. And we aren't right now. If you Google Ravenswood School District budget crisis, it's not happening here. And I want to talk a little about why I think that's happening right now. I don't want to jinx us. It's not the goal of tonight, but I want to just reflect a little bit, thinking back on the last few years of why right now we're not in crisis. That is not to say that we'll never be in crisis again at all. It's just to say right now we're in a good place, and I want to take a moment just to call attention to that and hopefully talk about the things that set us up for success. I do want to highlight, first of all, that this is not the fault necessarily of the school districts around us. This is a very predictable outgrowth of stimulus funds. Stimulus funds came in, they went out. They came in, people hired staff. What this graph is showing is the number of students across the country. You see that dip in COVID, and then you see that red line kind of shooting up. That's the number of employees, that blue line is the number of students. Number of students hasn't changed a lot, but the number of staff has. Where does our money go? Our money goes to the number of staff we have times the average cost per employee. If the number of staff goes up, the average cost per employee stays the same or goes up, that's more money. Same number of students means no new revenue for most of these districts. We talked about this extensively as a board in 2021. We saw this coming, we talked about it, we talked about the fiscal cliff. This is one of the slides that we presented. You can see that special triangle logo. But we were talking about what happens when the money goes out. How do we think about setting aside funds to make sure this happens? And Solomon was actually kind enough, he found a photo actually of me making this slide at the time, which was kind of cool. So what happens for us not to go into fiscal crisis? And I think it's sort of a multi-part piece. And I thought about sort of what's the right metaphor for this? I don't know that I got the right one, but the one I thought of was a chair. And it starts with, in terms of keeping us sort of solvent, it starts with the board and the superintendent. We did not, during COVID, ramp up spending as quickly as revenue. And the board and the superintendent were clear about taking direction to set aside some of that money down the road. So we never ran up spending as much as we could have. And the board didn't push for us to run up spending dramatically during that period. We also, for each of those years, each of the last 5-6 years, we've made cuts every year. We have done some amount of layoffs, position reductions, natural adjustments. As class sizes went down in schools, we reduced school budgets. We did that every year. And that takes discipline. That takes standing up to be courageous when there are cuts. I also, and I can't say this enough, but I really think our union partners, some of whom are here tonight, really deserve a ton of credit for this. So often when school district finance goes off the rails, people blame the unions for asking for too much. And I think one thing that's been really true about Ravenswood since I've been here with RTA, especially, is they have cared as much about the fiscal health of the district as district staff. And so the question really is not how do we overspend, how do we spend now to get sort of one-time windfalls? It's how do you take that long-term mindset from the union's perspective and make sure we're investing it in the right levels of people and the right amount of money per people. And so it's really been, for the last 6 years, much more of a collaborative conversation about, hey, we know we have this much money, how do we get the best out of it for our kids, our families, and our staff, but not necessarily trying to get to a position that's not sustainable in the near term or the long term, which I think is just exceptionally positive and collaborative. And I really want to shout out our union partners for the work on that. We also have REF in the room tonight. It's really a lot of guests tonight. REF has grown from a $2 million a year organization to over 10. Part of the reason that we've been able to do this is we're a $50 million budget. $8 million more of outside philanthropy is so impactful for the school district. It's so impactful for making all this stuff work, and we would not be in a good fiscal position right now if REF wasn't REF, or the REF that it's become. And Jenna Wachtel-Pernavos, who's obviously here, deserves a lot of that credit as well. Finally, I do think we get a little bit of credit in the finance and HR team, maybe not too much, and certainly not a lot of it. But we've teed up some conversations and some questions to hopefully bring honesty and transparency so that the other folks in the school, or the chair, excuse me, can understand the trade-offs in a thoughtful way. Thinking of my chair metaphor here, I think you could take away one of these legs, right? The board could say, spend baby spend, or REF maybe has a down year and raises $3 million instead of 10. The chair would probably stand up. But I think like a four-legged chair, you lose two of these legs and I think we'd collapse. I want to end by saying that this is not like the status of forever. This is the status of the last 5 years. This is a retrospective. There are a lot of storm clouds on the horizon, and to be in this position in 5 years from now, we're going to need everything that's gone right to keep going right, and maybe even some more luck. I'm not going to read the different storm clouds, but there's a lot of things to worry about. And we're constantly worrying about that. We're constantly collaborating on that. But the fact that right now we are not in the fiscal straits that many of our district colleagues are in is notable. And I want to just note that as we go into budget season that, we've done a lot over the last few years right. Sometimes, school district stays solvent during fiscal stimulus era. It's not really a catchy news headline, but I think it's something worth reflecting on about what did happen to get us here. With that, I'll conclude my presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Eager. Comments from the board or any questions or any comments from the floor this day?
Oh, do you want to note the time?
Yes, I was going to do it after we spoke, but I can do it now. It's 6:37 p.m. At 6:37 p.m. Trustee Pavetta entered and is now participating in the meeting for the record. Go ahead, Trustee Warren.
I think it's not really a question but a statement, so thank you for the presentation. I do want to make sure that people know that we are in deficit spending, right? Like we are also in deficit. However, because of what we planned for starting in 2021, we know what funds we're pulling from. So we made some really hard decisions over the last, like you said, 5 years to be in the place that we are right now. So many of the districts around us, we are impacted by all the things that you said. And so we as a board also are very highly aware that we're in deficit spending. And so that is why, we ask you, Dr. Eger, very hard questions all the time about what's going to happen in 5 years, what do you think is going to happen in 10 years, what do you think is going to happen in 20 years. And I know you indulge us because, like you said, you can't really foresee what may happen in 5 years. But so we thank you for your planning on that, but I also I also want to thank you for the fact that in the midst of being in deficit spending, we are not in a position that makes it very hard to keep up like our positive attitude. So I don't think, you've created this, we all have made hard decisions so that we can create this space of being able to continue to work together for the good of every student that is in our district. So thank you for that.
Through the chair, thank you for the presentation. As always, we don't know what the next couple of years will generally look like. We have an idea of what it could be, but of course, there's going to be a big shift going into next year with enrollment, which results in needing additional monies. And so I know that the presentation next year is going to look a little bit different than it is this year. But as you can see across the majority of all the districts in the region, they're going through some of the same, I don't want to say issues, but they're going through the same seasons when it comes to budget. So I am confident in where we're going. And if you have any questions to the general public, please check out the website. Thank you.
Thank you. No other questions? Yes, go ahead. Proceed.
Yeah, to the chair, I'm just more impressed with the photo that's all shared. No, yeah. I think being the newest member on the board, I think that was one thing that I quickly learned when I started like the master's in governance. Quickly learning, seeing the place where Ravenswood was compared to some of the other boards and other districts, and how we were preparing. And so I just want to give kudos to staff and thank you, Dr. Eger, because I feel like we prepared ourselves, like you said, that we are in a good place. We put some guardrails up early, I think, to really protect ourselves from, falling over the cliff where maybe other districts might have or could have, or maybe already have or did. And those safety rules are there for a reason, and so we're in a very good place where I think, like I mentioned, it's a good place to feel where people were spending very quickly because of the stimulus money, and meticulously thinking like let's wait and let's prepare because we know that there are going to be rainy days, so let's prepare for those rainy days because we don't know when those days are going to come, but let's prepare for that. And so I'm thankful that we are in a place that we are, so that I'm excited for that. And again, just knowing that what is coming, the growing enrollment, but yeah, so just very thankful.
Thank you, Tracy Tavera. I would just close with a special thank you. I know there are thank yous that should be shared all around because, as Dr. Eger presented, it's a distributed effort that sort of led to us being in this place right now. But to the Executive Director of REF, Jenny Pronovost, who's in the audience and is always in the audience at every meeting, I just want to say a special thank you on behalf of the board because those other legs of the chair were sort of in-house. Union partners, HR, finance, the superintendent of board, but REF is made up of amazing people who are nurturing and cultivating and investing in this district, who are from all over. So I just think that's a really beautiful thing, a beautiful partnership, and I'm very thankful. And when we really think about some of the things Dr. Eger teaches in his class around budget and finance and business and education,
it calls to questions like, how are you supposed to keep up with things like rising special education costs? If state budgets aren't increasing to support that, if federal budgets are going away versus investing more. And so, again, just echoing the gratitude for community members who are stepping up to support. Thank you very much. And I look forward to the many conversations and presentations, I'm sure, upcoming as we get ready to have these conversations of how we are going to battle the storm. this next horizon of costs and things. Thank you so much, Dr. E, for that presentation. All right, we're going to keep it moving. If no one else has anything to say about that, we're on to item 5, which are action items, so we will be voting. We are at 5A, consideration to approve resolution number 2620, the bond resolution.
Good evening, trustees. There's no lengthy presentation tonight on this topic, given that we've talked about this at each of the last 2 board meetings, talking about both the need for potentially a new bond, should the board choose to go that way, that is created, and the opportunity that is created by the primary school closure, which allows Castaño to move into that site, allowing for a bigger project at Castaño, as well as various projects at a smaller level across the district. The board gave direction at the last meeting to proceed with a $70 million bond instead of a $60 million bond, which is reflected in the resolution. Should the board proceed with this, staff will file the necessary paperwork to put this on the June election. Staff does not have a recommendation on this per ed code because we're not allowed to take positions on electoral issues. With that, I'll conclude my remarks.
Thank you for that. All right. That means it's up to us, trustees. Again, this is up for consideration for a vote. I think the last 2, maybe 3 meetings, we've had some discussions about this, so I'm sure everyone is up to date with things. But if we have any questions or comments from anyone who's here, please, now's the time. Otherwise, I will take a motion to approve this.
I'll make a motion to approve item 5A.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Through the chair, I make a second.
Thank you. Trustee Board Secretary Varghese Blue.
Yeah. Resolution number 26-20, resolution of the Board of Education of the Ravenswood City School District ordering a school bond election and authorizing necessary action in connection therewith, whereas the elementary and middle schools of Ravenswood City School District located in the county of San Mateo, Belhaven, and so on and so forth.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries 4-0. Thank you very much. We are going to keep going to item 5B, consideration to approve board policies and administrative regulations for second read and action. These came up for first reading in previous meeting, the second read, and now we are voting or considering vote on items 5B 1 through 6. And I think we'll just consider these together unless anyone wants to look at them separately or individually. And that's what I thought, yeah. And do we have a speaker as well?
Yes, we do have a speaker for item 5B, 5 and 6. So, and I will call that speaker up, Ms. Nicole Sullivan. And I believe you're speaking as RTA, and so you have 5 minutes. Yeah. I also have it here, Solomon, if you want me to. Okay.
Hello, Board of Directors. So I'm Nicole Sullivan, RTA President, and I'm just here to talk about one of the board policies that is being adopted tonight. There's some language that we're concerned with. So policy 1445, response to immigration enforcement. It's paragraph 9, so the paragraph directly under the number 4 bullet point. So it states, however, district staff shall not obstruct interfere with, or otherwise impede an officer or employee of an agency conducting immigration enforcement who nonetheless enters district-provided transportation, a non-public area of any district property or facility, or a non-public area where any district-sponsored program or activity is occurring. So to us, this paragraph sounds like the district staff could get in trouble even if they were to try to help a student, if they're approached by ICE or some other entity, not just with the law, but with the district, especially like after the killing of Alex Preddy in Minnesota. We're just all on edge about it. And we were wondering if some of the language could be changed in just that one paragraph. For example, the word impede sounds too loose because you can interpret the idea of impeding an investigation or impeding an incident as just recording something from your phone from afar. And so if there could be some more like strong language, like the word prevent or something like that, that's showing that we would only get in trouble if we unequivocally like stop an officer from doing their job. So not just recording or just being there saying something in the background that we disagree, because that could be considered impeding. Something more like we're actually physically getting in the way of something, and I know we can't do that. But just some kind of language that doesn't make us feel like, wow, we can't even help our kids. We can't even be there for them in a possible legal way. So that's just one thing. The rest of the language seemed okay, but that paragraph seemed a little off to us. So that's it.
Thank you, Ms. Sullivan.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling that out. I think as I read it again, I think what's interesting is that all of these words, obstruct, interfere, and impede, could have a similar connotation, right? And it's sort of up to interpretation, the context of who's reading it, who's complaining about it. And so, so just calling that out, if you aren't going to look at language, that then you might need to look at all of those words. Yeah. Were you going to say something, Mr. Wilson?
Wasn't it 2 points, or was it just that one?
That was the main one. And then just for the record, there are other locals in San Mateo County, because we know that this language is trying to be adopted in multiple districts, not just ours. And members of other locals in San Mateo County are also upset with this language. So we know it wasn't like us writing it from Ravenswood, but still.
And then was that, is the language the same? I'm going to go back to, because this is, the board policy is the same with AR.
It's, AR is shorter,
It's a little different.
and this is moving from the 5,000, so the recension of the 2 at the bottom there, it's moving from student to community relations, which is the 1,000s. And so this is responding to how we, as a community, respond to law enforcement.
Is this, what is our,
This is
our responsibility for this particular, like adopting this specific language?
And we are to have language adopted by March 1st. I have to double check, to be honest, if we can keep our current administrative regulation and board policy for 5,000s until we move forward with the modification of the 1,000s. But this is more robust than the 5,000s. And this is currently what we have in place right now. And we do advise team members to not impede, not obstruct, because there could be a chance that they are not protected by counsel and representation.
Through the chair, is what we consider impede and obstruct, impede and obstruct up to us as a board in our understanding of what that is, or is it up to what someone may be charged for? So if we as a board look at the word impede and we say, we do not think videoing or like videotaping is impeding, but they come and charge for impeding, is it based on our interpretation or is it based on the charge?
It would be based on the charge.
So, sorry, can I ask one more follow-up?
Of course.
So then, even if we change this language to say physically prevent, if the charge comes to say you physically prevent, it would still be according to the charge.
Sorry. Yes, so there's been amongst superintendents conversations about this and how some other districts have different language around policies and created policies beyond this that may not stand in front of the courts when it comes to representation for personnel and superintendents.
Okay,
So council has advised us to be mindful of the language and it does comes down to personal decisions in certain circumstances. And that's why we have a more conservative approach when it comes to following these guidelines and advising personnel.
sorry, yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to do with this, yeah, processing, about what to do. So what we could do is, because I don't know if this has been, if this is the first time, you've heard of this and haven't heard it. Or I know you said you've been talking to other superintendents, but we could take it off, we could take these two off, try to work it. We probably have to have a special meeting. For us to consider by March 1st, which is a quick turnaround.
It's not Monday.
Quick turnaround.
Like it's due by Monday, or like we can have a meeting on Monday. What?
So
Right,
I'm
my eyes
sorry,
are
that's why we
burning.
did have the first read, but
Yeah.
there could also be modifications. So you can approve and then you can also modify it.
So through the chair. I'm trying to formulate my motion. Okay.
Could we approve and then ask for, on the next agenda for our next board meeting to have modified language and a modified resolution for us to approve? Or approve a different one and rescind whatever.
Yeah, and it could very well be with guidance from council, it still might stay the same. But
Yeah.
but I would love to also talk with our TAs
Yes.
and our classified team members too, then,
Right. And
in consultation with council.
yes, and maybe also ask what other people in San Mateo County are, language they are using as well, just to, because at the end of the day, it's based on the charge. Okay, so, yeah.
So when you bring up this, it's based on the charge, I'm wondering then, I could see how this language could be used by someone who's charging you and saying, per your own rules and regulations, you have failed to do X, Y, Z. Which we really can't, I guess we can protect ourselves from that based on what language you speak, so maybe I just answered my own question. Because what I was considering was, if our power only lies in what we do with employees, right, then we can have a certain understanding regardless of whatever language this is an addendum or something. Meaning when people don't do what we have laid out, not to do like what's our process. But if our own language can be then used in the charge, then that's interesting. I'm not an attorney, by the way, so.
Yes, and I'm curious to hear how the other districts then in response to speaking at the board, what direction they actually took. This is the first time as well that I've heard this, but I think we can go ahead and move with, recommendation is move with for approval of this with suggestions to change the language for consultation.
And to bring it back to us at the next board meeting. Of
I'm
us
saying to
approving,
consider, no, I'm saying, bring it back if it's changing, but I guess,
and we would
Are
do
we-
the same process.
so what I'm saying is, are we then given direction if we take this out? Or superintendent to bring a version 2 or version 3? Or are we saying, they'll have conversations, look at other things, and then you decide, because we've already approved one. Are we saying, no, we want another version, bring another version based on what you've seen and heard? Trustee Bennett?
Yeah, through the chair, I think from what I'm hearing, and I'm trying to formulate my thoughts as well, because I'm going with agreeing that the deadline is right here and wanting to bring this back because I'm leaning towards wanting to do right by our staff because I think in these unprecedented times because of who that man is in DC, what we're dealing with as a country, and again, in the heat of the moment, I think no one understands how one would react, but I would hate for our staff in wanting to, again, protect our students to again be penalized by a word in the eyes of the law. So again, yeah, I think what I'm hearing, or I would like to see is that it comes back with maybe a couple of options of what would be in place of impede. When you have, because you said you've had those conversations with other superintendents, and you said that
Not specific to this.
not specific to this, but
Policy,
yeah,
but there's been other policies that superintendents have created.
okay.
And advice from council is, that's fine, but it doesn't mean that we can protect you if it doesn't comply by ed code and the laws.
So sorry, if at least what I would like to see is if this comes back to us is if it wouldn't be this, what other, like, could we get like 2 other options maybe from like council, like maybe give suggestions on other words?
So, yeah, so I think what process is which I think President Chipolman is asking for, is we will still approve B 1 through 6 and with direction to come back to us of what modified language could be so that we can protect the staff who are on the front lines protecting our children. Like what language is going to give us and staff the most protection legally and meeting this code that we have to meet. And so then we would approve ABC or we'd put it up for motion to see if we would approve ABC as a whole. And then next meeting, if we can change something in 5 and 6, we will bring back 5 and 6. That's what I think the process is.
So consideration, so consideration to approve with direction to come back with modified language that can be used to protect staff and students for items 5B, 5 and 6.
That's through the chair. Yeah, just to push this forward, like a conditional approval, just to make the deadline, but to ensure that we follow it.
My understanding is this, can we take that section out? It's completed, like. Legally.
That could be also.
So, Madam Chair, what we can do is, approve item B5, redacting.
So we know that we can't do that. That is not what we
I
have to
do
do.
not.
We don't know that, so. We don't, because we don't know that we cannot include this part, then I think if we approve everything tonight and then bring these items 5B5, 5B6 back for reconsideration, I think that could be.
How's that sound? Yeah, okay. All right. Um, Thank you so much for bringing this to our attention and for the conversation. No speakers on this item, others, no?
No other speakers.
Thank you. Okay, so that, then I will consider a motion, or is there a motion for item 5B, 1 through 6?
I'll make a motion to approve item 5B 1 through 6.
Do I have a second? A second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, we are now on item 5C, consideration to rescind board policies and administrative regulations. And this is for two items, item 5C1 and 5C2.
Yes, and so as I mentioned, this board policy AR has been moved up to the 1000s, and it's also just more robust with explanation.
Awesome. Any questions or comments about this or any speakers? If not, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve item 5C.
Do I have a second?
This is for 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah, because I'm kind of seeing 5C as one. Do you want to,
Yes.
should we do them separately or do you want to, I was doing it collectively. Yes, this is
So-
for item 5C1 and item 5C2 together.
I will make a motion to approve item 5C 1 and 2.
Through the chair, I second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Thank you. And so just to reiterate, what we just did with item 5C would potentially be what we'd be doing in another meeting. If language changes
Yes.
to our,
Yes.
yes, we'd be rescinding, yeah. Thank you. Okay, so we are on the consent agenda, item 6. And this is for item 6A, 1 through 14. Nothing has been pulled, so do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda item 6.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
The chair, second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Thank you. We are on to item number 7. We are going to now move into closed session. Before we go into closed session, do we have any speakers for anything on the agenda?
I do not have any speaker cards.
Thank you, trustee board secretary. With that, it's 7:07 PM. We're moving into closed session. Welcome back. We are reconvening here, returning to open session. It is 7:52 p.m. We are on item 8B, report of action taken in closed session. And so for item 7A, no action was taken. And for item 7B, the item was approved 4-0. Thank you. So moving on to item 8C, consideration to approve resolution number 2621, board member excused absences. So this is for trustee Nunez. I'll take a motion.
Through the chair, I move to approve the resolution for trustee Nunes.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I second.
Trustee board clerk. Marquise Moore.
Thank you. Resolution number 26-21, board members excused absences, whereas education code allows people to be absent, and so on and so forth.
Thank you so much. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries 4-0. Thank you. Item 8D, just a reminder that our next regular board meeting will be on March 12th, 2026 at 6 p.m. here on Euclid Avenue in East Palo Alto. And now, if there are no other comments or anything, this meeting is adjourned at 7:53 p.m.